Hello everyone, it's Michael K here and welcome to a Replica Airguns Airsoft Pistol review. Today we're looking at the Cybergun VFC Smith Wesson M&P 9C gas blowback Airsoft Pistol. Again, this uses 6mm airsoft BBs, so no, it cannot use 4.5mm BBs. They just do not fit. They're the wrong size, the wrong type of ammo. Now this gun was acquired direct from the Replica Airgun store, so you can purchase this gun in the Canadian and the US Replica Airgun store. Check that out if you're interested in this product. So let's quickly get right into some of the specifications. This is a metal and polymer designed gun, very similar to the real Smith & Wesson M&P. It also uses a gas blowback system, so you can use different types of green gases like propane or regular standard green gas. Again, it shoots 6mm plastic airsoft BBs. It has a 16-round full-size dropout metal magazine, and it weighs in at a whopping 1.25 pounds or 566 grams. So it is kind of light, but keep in mind it's kind of small too. It does have a nice mass to it. It does not feel cheap or light when you hold it because of its small size. The 1.25 pounds is about right. But this gun shoots in single action only, so you're going to need to pull the slide back or rack the slide for the first shot, and then the blowback will do that for you thereafter. Now this gun has a claimed 280 FPS using .20 gram BBs. And I'll tell you right off the top, there will be no shooting in this video, so make sure to check out my associated or my dedicated field test shooting video that I've already done. I'll put a link in here. I'll also put a link in the description to this video so you can check out that shooting field test video and see what kind of results I got on the chronograph, also shooting it on target. So make sure to check that out if you want to watch this gun shooting. Now originally this gun did come with this orange tip. It came off rather easy. I've kept it here just so I can show you, so that would normally be hanging out the front there. It was kind of glued in and threaded in. See if you can see the threads here. A little bit difficult, but it's threaded and it was glued, but it did come out pretty easily. Here in Canada, we're not required to have the red tips on the guns. Now this gun is made in Taiwan by VFC and distributed by Cybergun. It does come in this cardboard box, fairly basic cardboard box, nothing too interesting going on here. Sorry, the back. And that's about it. Nothing really too much on the sides either. Now inside the box you will get these back straps for adjusting the size of your grip. Now I'll show those a little bit later how they go on. It also came with these white sights that I had to put in here manually. So they're sort of like a white dot sight that you just sort of pop into there. See if you can see that. There you go. In the front. There it is. It also came with this metal serial number plate separate, so I just had to pop that in. Underneath it, it says made in Taiwan. And I didn't glue it or anything, it just seems to be holding tight. I couldn't really get it out easily, so I've just left it. I was going to glue it in, but I don't seem to need to. Now if you haven't noticed, it's a very accurate copy of a real Smith & Wesson M&P 9C, so the C stands for compact. Let's take a look at some other similar styled guns, and the two guns I'm going to show you are some Umarex guns. This is a BB pistol here, 4.5mm steel BB pistol. It's an M&P, a Smith & Wesson M&P 40 cal version, so it's modeled after the 40 cal. And you can see, just sort of to give you some size differentiation here, you'll see the size is quite a bit different, size of the grips and everything. The thickness is the same, but the shortness of the gun is different. And then I also have a 45 cal version, and this is a pellet and BB shooting version. It's an Umarex Smith & Wesson M&P 45. And check out, I'll put links in here for both of these guns here, these Umarex guns, so you can check them out. Again, much smaller, but similar style gun. Right? So the 45 kind of dwarfs it, or actually, yeah, makes it seem a lot smaller. Alright, so at this point we're going to do a quick walk around of this pistol, go over some of the components and parts and some basic functionality. So let's take a look at the left side here. Now all of these markings, these license markings, are right into the metal. So they're not painted on, they're engraved or stamped into the metal. So all of the stainless here, Smith & Wesson logo, all right in the metal here, and this is a metal slide. You have a metal takedown lever here. You also have a metal slide catch. Okay, the frame is polymer, the trigger's polymer, the slide or the magazine release is polymer. Most of the magazine is metal, with the exception of this bottom piece here. This guy right here, that's plastic, but the actual magazine itself is metal. Now I have put in this little tool here that allows me to dry fire, and this comes with the gun as well. This little piece here goes into the magazine and allows you to dry fire. Simulates there being BBs in the magazine so that I can dry fire this gun for you. You basically just load the BBs through the top and you just use your follower, pull this down, release it when you're done loading the BBs. Again, you do have some more branding right down there on the grips. Now this is an actual working safety, so I can't pull the trigger from the top. You have to kind of use the working safety here on the trigger. Now I did want to mention something really quick. The slide catch looks to be ambidextrous, but it's not. You cannot work it from this side at all. You'll see here, this is just for show, this one on this side. But it is nice that they made it look like it's, you know, ambidextrous like the real gun would be, but you're only going to be able to use it on the one side. Okay, let's take a look at the right side. Alright, pretty much same thing going on, more Smith & Wesson's licensing, and again, it's basically stamped right into the frame or right into the slide. I love the way the extractor looks so realistic. It looks like it's a separate piece, and I believe it is. Instead of just being molded into the slide, it looks to be a separate piece, which looks a lot more realistic. And this is true, this little white lettering here is on the real gun. That's not an Airgun thing, that's on the real gun, and people have complained about it. Again, your pseudo ambidextrous slide catch release. Again, your serial number plate. Again, some more Smith & Wesson licensing. You've got this nice rail here for accessories, even though it's a short gun. There's your trigger guard. Bottom of the magazine. Gas goes in here. More licensing. Even down there. Fully licensed. Okay. Take a look at the sights again. And the back sight is adjustable for windage. Alright. So, pretty much everything you'd find on the real gun. Let's just shoot it real quick. Again, I have pretty much made this gun so I can dry fire it without having to hold the slide catch down because of that tool I have in there. I want to show you the full auto. There's a little switch here. That guy right there, you just pop him out so you can see him. So I basically pulled him in this direction. And now that's going to allow me to do full auto. Very cool. It smells like propane in here. So I just popped it the other direction. There you go. So that's a really cool feature. Semi and full auto is always nice. Alright, so I want to show you how to adjust this back strap for different sizes. You literally will take the magazine out, turn this sideways, pull that out, and then these guys come off. So then you can put the different size grips on. We'll just leave that one on for now. And this is the thicker grip. So there we go. It's a big grip. People have asked me, small gun. They said, I've got a big hand. Is this gun going to be too small for me? For me, with this grip on, it's almost a little too chunky in the grip area because it's got a lot of girth to it from front to back. And so, you know, it's got some size side to side as well. So it's a fairly good grip. It doesn't have a lot of length in here, but then it does have this extended magazine area that allows you to put all your fingers on there. So this gun is good for people with large hands. No problem there. Alright, I'm going to take the magazine out again, and we're going to do a basic field strip for you. Nothing too crazy. So pull this all the way back, rotate that down. See how it's got that sort of grooved area there? Forward, and then you have to pull the trigger a little bit and pull this off. So there's your basic slide. All of this comes out. I'd probably better do it for you. Now hopefully I can get this out. Sometimes they can be tight. There it is. It's coming. Alright, nice heavy barrel too. This is a nice heavy barrel. Of course you've got your inner barrel inside, but we'll leave that in there. But it's got good weight to it. Nice and solid. Take a look at the slide. Slide isn't super heavy. Heavy enough for sure, but it's all metal with the exception of the gas tube. Okay, put that all back together. And we're done. Alright, again, I want to refer to my dedicated field test and shooting video. Make sure to check that out for this gun, where I put the gun through the chronograph to show you the average feet per second with a 5-shot test. I also go back in a semi-rested position and shoot this gun on target to see what kind of real-life grouping we can get out of it in semi and full auto. I'll also show you some high-speed footage of this gun shooting using my slow-motion camera. Alright, so let's get into some of the pros and the cons. Even though this gun is fairly compact, it has a nice density, a good weight to it. It's built very similarly to the real Smith & Wesson M&P, so it's very solid. Has excellent fit and finish. It's got a full metal magazine that holds the gas and the BBs, which is very realistic. Again, it's an extremely accurate looking and working Smith & Wesson M&P 9C, fully licensed replica. This gun, again, as I showed you, is fully field strippable. Has a working trigger safety like the real M&P 9C. It's nice that it has rear adjustable sights for windage. A lot of times these guns will shoot a little bit left or right, so you can adjust that for your gun. I like the white dot sights. They also allow you quicker target acquisition, and you'll find them on the real Smith & Wesson M&P 9C as well. A couple cons I found with this gun. It does come with the orange tip that we don't require in Canada, but it does come off fairly easily. Now the white dot sights, they are not installed on the gun, so you'll have to put those in yourself. Not a big deal. Lastly, the right side slide catch release, it's only for show. It's kind of there just for looks. And you know what? At least it's there. Personally, I'm never going to use it, but if you're a lefty, you may be tempted to use it. So just keep that in mind. You can't use the right side slide catch. Alright, so that sums up this tabletop YouTube video review for the Cybergun VFS Smith & Wesson M&P 9C gas blowback airsoft pistol. Don't forget to subscribe before you head out. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Also stop by the Replica Airguns website, where I'll have a dedicated post here for you on this gun with additional high-resolution photos for you to check out. Maybe even some additional information there about this gun. And while you're at the ReplicaAirguns.com website, check out our US and Canada stores where we sell this gun. And of course other airsoft guns, BB guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and accessories. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.